Following the widespread international recognition for an independent Palestine and an independent Somaliland, a prominent African ambassador in the United States now says it is time for South Africa to break apart too. In a hard-hitting piece published just days ago, one of the African Union's most influential representatives in the US is calling for the same logic that is now reshaping the Middle East and the Horn of Africa to be applied in South Africa as well. Over the past 12 months, several Western European countries and significantly a number of members of the G7 group have recognized the State of Palestine as an independent country in and of itself. These include countries such as the United Kingdom, Canada, Australia and France, to name but a few. In total, now 157 out of 193 UN member states now fully recognize Palestine as an independent country. On the other hand, at the end of last year, on the 26th of December, Israel became the first UN member state to officially recognize Africa's newest country, Somaliland, which has broken away from Somalia. Additionally, Ethiopia has also signed an official memorandum of agreement with Somaliland. Taiwan has also openly backed Israel's recognition of Somaliland, hinting that it might soon become the second country to officially recognize Somaliland. Now the pot is being stirred even further, with a prominent representative of the African Union from the Republic of Togo, an ambassador based in Los Angeles in the United States, is openly calling for South Africa to break up into what he describes as independent ethno-cultural homelands. Grant Arthur Gotchen is a prominent Californian wealth manager, diplomat, author and activist known for a mix of financial, diplomatic and historical justice work. Additionally, he also now serves as the honorary consul for the Republic of Togo in the United States and as vice dean of the Los Angeles Consular Corps, the second largest consular corps in the entire world. In March 2018, he was also appointed as the special envoy for the diaspora affairs for the African Union, which represents all 55 African nations. His opinion pieces are featured in some of the world's leading media outlets, and in his first piece for 2026, he published an article in the Times of Israel on why South Africa needs to follow the path of Palestine and Somaliland and break up into different states. In his piece, he notes that, and I quote, African borders were arbitrarily drawn during the 1884 to 1885 Berlin Conference to suit imperial convenience. These lines disregard language, culture and historical ties, then solidified into post-colonial states designed primarily for resource extraction. The consequences, genocide and civil war, have erupted within these recognized states. Gotchen further goes on to point out that monoethnic states as a rule tend to be far more stable and far more prosperous than any multicultural or multiracial states, pointing to the breakup of Yugoslavia as a prime example. Then he continues with a profound legal claim. Self-determination is not mere activist rhetoric, it is enforceable law. Article 1 of the UN Charter, Article 1 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, and International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights, the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, and Section 235 of the South African Constitution itself all affirm the right of peoples to freely determine their political status. These instruments impose a positive legal obligation on states to enable meaningful self-determination where internal self-determination is persistently denied. International law does not merely permit external self-determination, it anticipates it. He then points to the fact that Palestine has been widely recognized over the past 12 months as proof that the tide has turned positively towards ethnic self-determination for each nation in its own state. The example of Israel and Palestine's partitioning is something Goshen points to as proving the necessity of partition when unified governance proves impossible. And then Goshen, as a prominent representative of the African Union in the United States, turns to South Africa, describing it as the most urgent and compelling case for breakup for self-determination. This is, of course, because under the ANC, South Africa has degenerated into a textbook case of extractive rule, where political power is rarely used for much more than to siphon wealth to a politically connected elite of cadres. Our foreign policy has also been disastrous, evident in growing alignment with Iran through military cooperation and symbolic gestures such as joint BRICS naval drills and senior defense engagements. Our economy is in shatters and capital is fleeing the country by the billions. And it is not far-fetched to point exactly to the enrichment of these elites for the alignment that South Africa picks, as well as the fact that these billions are fleeing out of the country. In light of this decline, Goshen concludes South Africa is now unsustainable in its current form. To avert widespread violence, a peaceful breakup represents the only viable solution for this country. Goshen then calls for the very policy that the former National Party Prime Minister Hendrik Verwoerd attempted to implement while he was in office: independent homelands for each of the black tribes in this country. He writes, South Africa must lead the way in fragmentation, voluntarily, referendum-based independence for historic ethno-cultural homelands, such as those of the Zulu, Xhosa, Tswana, Sotho, Venda and Tsonga, along with the Western Cape, would replace coercion with genuine consent. While Goshen fails to expressly mention the plight of the Afrikaner people for self-determination, this is implied by his call for each of the other nations, as well as the Western Cape, to secede from the imperial state into its own ethnic homeland. Goshen's piece represents the complete structural and cultural shift we are currently witnessing unfold when it comes to international and geopolitical norms. The post-1945 model of large, centralized imperial states held together by force, redistribution and elite capture is steadily losing its legitimacy on an international stage. This has been particularly accelerated by the world's largest imperial state, Russia, invading and causing complete destruction in many countries, including Ukraine. Now, we see how sentiment is increasingly shifting towards smaller, cohesive political units grounded in identity, consent, and self-rule. The rapid recognition of Palestine, the first ever recognition of Somaliland, and now the open calls for South Africa's fragmentation signal that the international system is moving away from preserving artificial colonial borders at all costs. For South Africa, this means the old guarantees are gone. Sovereignty will no longer shield a failing extractive imperialist and colonial state from external pressure or international claims. As legitimacy drains from imperial structures like South Africa, self-determination movements are bound to gain more and more legal, moral, and diplomatic momentum in their respective countries. And once that tide turns, it rarely reverses. Here at the Willem Petsche Group, we firmly believe that full self-determination for all the peoples of South Africa, all the nations of South Africa, including the Afrikaner people, is the only way out of this absolute mess that the current-day multicultural South Africa is. It is also the only method for survival for our people here in South Africa in a continually antagonistic state towards us. We make videos such as these precisely to change perspectives and guide our audience to embrace this inevitability of self-determination as the only way forward, not just in South Africa, but in the entire world. For example, in a recent video, we highlighted the hypocrisy of the ANC in supporting self-determination abroad in Palestine, in Western Sahara, while maintaining borders imposed by European colonial powers at home. Check out this video by clicking on this link appearing on your screen right here. And remember to become a member of the Willem Petzer Group. Only with your help are we able to keep the team together at the Willem Petzer Group, pay everyone's salaries, and keep producing content of this quality every morning to you. Just follow the easy steps on the banner underneath me. Goodbye and God bless.